Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
Red hot American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline. Red hot American night. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
Red hot American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline. Red hot American night. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
Red hot American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline. Red hot American night. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone.
All right, there we go. One little extra play on that pretty dope video, if I must say so myself. That was and they always step the game up. So
Nick picked a banger, though. Definitely, Nick picked a banger.
Certainly, yeah, absolutely. That was. I always say they're my favorite, but
Yeah.
they just shows keep getting better, so those promo videos keep getting better, and I can't wait. We're coming down the finish line here. Only a few weeks away. Christmas is coming. Halloween's first. And before we get to turkey, we got Cage Titan 68. So
There we go. I was like, Christmas is coming. I'm like, wait, we haven't got the Halloween, but I like what you did there.
yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's a ramble. There's no script. You just go sometimes. But
There you go.
I'm getting used to the Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Usually come in fresh after Sunday on Monday, but now Tuesday night audible for Cage Titan 68 for whatever reason, but whatever, we're here.
No.
It's good. It's the same shit, different flavor. It's all.
Yeah, we actually got a pretty stacked show tonight.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually Tuesday has been pretty good because, you know, we usually do Mondays, but like a lot of teams do their like team training Monday nights. I know Signaton one being one. And a lot of guys train Monday nights. I think probably after the weekend, the fighters like Monday's probably one of the best days at the gym. So, you know, guests have been kind of hard to work it around their schedule. But tonight we got a stacked show. We got Earthquake Aaron Trecell calling in. Then, as I said in our promo video, the amateurs kind of take center stage. Jay Caskey's calling in around 9. We already have Eric Huynh and Ruben Bitar from Back to Basics, the 1-2 punch, the lightweight division. They're already here in studio. So we're going to bring them in a minute. And then later on, we have Eder Gomes calling in as well. So we got a stacked show. We got 6 guests for you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't want to keep these boys waiting. They were actually on ready to go before we were.
Which isn't uncommon.
Which isn't uncommon.
We're right on time for our 8 o'clock start.
No, actually, in the video I said 8:30, but originally we did tell all the guests 8 o'clock, and Eric and Ruben were on the ball. They actually were ready to go at 8.
Doesn't surprise me in the least bit.
And they're new to cage science world. When we say 8, that usually means 8:30. But either way, we got the 1-2 punch out of back to basics.
Still keep the professionalism though. Timeliness is amazing. But
you guys got to unmute. You're still muted.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Hey, yo.
How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you guys all?
Fantastic, man. This is coming down the stretch of fight camp. You guys have really made a splash this year, and you guys are looking to close it out strong. How are you feeling 3 weeks out?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling fresh. Been training a lot with this guy, so let him tell you how he's feeling.
Feeling great. Feeling excited, energetic. Nothing's gonna stop us this upcoming fight.
You guys have been tremendous this year. Both competing on, side by side. What is it like having such like a great camaraderie between the two of you, training under Jeff Perez, and like, how has it helped you guys training together, fighting on the same cards, and keeping that momentum rolling? How's it been working out for you guys?
I mean, it's been working out great. As you can see so far, we've been putting in the work. We've been getting out good results. Him doing the weight cuts with me, training with me, dieting at the same time, that makes everything easier. And since we're amateurs who were just 0-0 a few months ago, we didn't know anything about this world. And now we're getting informed, Jeff's telling us what's up, we're seeing each other develop, so it's great. I don't know what else he has to add.
It's definitely really helpful with morale. If I were to do this alone, I would feel lost. Doing this training with Ruben all the time, it's helped us learn where to grow, where we need to grow. And honestly, it's just been so fun training with Ruben, fighting with him so far.
Nice. I got to give you credit, Eric. You had where'd the celebration from last event come from?
I'm sorry?
Where'd the celebration come from, Eric? Where'd the celebration come from?
Just spur of the moment, honestly. I didn't really know what I was trying to do there. It was just, I wanted to do something that would leave a lasting impression, or just have some kind of picture that I could just put on my Instagram or just show to my family. And that was just the first thing that popped in my head after the win.
That was a spectacular finish, and you kind of just naturally rolled into it. You just hit a perfect liver kick, and then the instinct of finish with the follow-up was just insane for only being your second fight, and you just rolled into it, did the little, I don't even know what you call it, but it was quite acrobatic and impressive on top of the finish.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, yeah. Training with Jeff and back to basics has helped a lot with just overall athleticism and movement. And so, just wanted to add that into the celebration and everything.
You never did any gymnastics or anything like that before?
No, I wish. I used to train with a friend in wrestling who did gymnastics. Shout out to Robert, but none for myself.
Ruben, we got somebody in the comments jumping off the backflip for a minute. That's Paulo Costa's kid. I'm 1,000% sure of it. Have you ever heard that you look like Paulo Costa's kid?
I saw in the comments for one of the recent posts. I'll take it. He's a good-looking guy. If I'm Paulo Costa's long-lost son, then so be it. I'll take it.
Speaking of, obviously we're picking up a little accent. Where are you from originally? And
I was gonna say he's not even Portuguese. He's not even Brazilian. He's Lebanese. You're from Beirut originally, right?
Yeah, my dad is Lebanese and my mom is English. She's from England. So when I came to Boston, I realized when you mix like Lebanese Arab with white, it turns into like Latino. So people here just think I'm Latino and my name's Ruben. So I guess that's where that all comes from.
We just make up our own shit here in Boston. We're like, yeah, there you go. Throw it together. Yep. Hey, Eric, I want to quickly we were talking about your backflip, so I want to throw it up so people can kind of see what we were talking about. Let's see. Well,
the finish too.
The finish as well. So let's take a quick look over here. Amazing finish. Deadly strikes there. You guys can see this. Here it comes. There you go. There's the moment of the finish. How great was it? Kind of jumping real quick to this finish. How was that feeling? Because in your first fight, I guess we'll just throw it out there. A lot of people were talking about how that decision in your very first fight should have went your way. And So how did it feel to finally get in there and pick that victory up?
Oh, dude, it was like the ultimate like ego boost. I felt like it was like a long time coming, and being able to make like just to send a message out there that I can be a person that can finish a fight. It feels awesome. It feels really, really nice. And honestly, I was just really happy that it was over. I like fighting, but in the moment I just wanted to be done as soon as possible. So it was a nice feeling overall.
Yeah, and it was a war too. And I got to say, it was just commendable seeing how you went into that fight after chatting with you at the after party briefly after your first fight. You had your spirits held truly high, and it really showed in that next performance because it was a dogfight, and the way you found it was the finish was just spectacular. Now, Ruben, you're climbing into a peculiar role. Both of you are actually. But sitting at 2-0 right now with this fight coming up, you're positioning yourself.
They're lagged out. I don't know if you can hear us, but you can't hear you. Like you leaked up for a moment. Just ask that again.
All right, we good now?
Yeah, all good.
I was saying you're positioning yourself prime for a title shot at 155. Not that you're that far behind there, Eric. And how do you see yourself matching up? I kind of am confused. I forget who you guys are each fighting. I know I'm
Ruben's fighting Zane.
Okay.
Eric is fighting Eder.
All right, there we go. I knew you guys were both fighting. I forgot who was fighting who there, but I knew you're both fighting those two. But
yeah, I mean, I think
matching up against Eric Zane.
I think everyone's a good matchup for me in amateur lightweight. No, it's no worries. Go take care of this fight, and then the title shot comes in the future soon. That will be good. I think Eric will take the 45 title. I'll take the 55 title. We'll hold it for a bit, and then when we don't feel anymore, then we can move on to the next chapter. But I think everybody is a good matchup for me and Eric because we don't have holes. So how can someone be a bad matchup? That's what I think about it.
Nice. Well, speaking, obviously you guys are both competing here at lightweight. I know that Eric, the goal seems to be eventually go down to featherweight. There's, first off, how do you feel about your matchup against Eder? And, not to get too far ahead, but obviously the featherweight division might be in your future as well.
So regarding Eder, I actually really wanted to fight him for a while now. After seeing him fight in 66, I resonate a lot with him. We kind of had to deal with the same opponent, Jack Wrestler. At the time, he was seen as the underdog, and so was me. So I really resonated him with that, and so this fight, in my opinion, was a long time coming. It's going to be a really good fight. I'm really confident that I can take the win in that. And regarding 45, I'm really confident I can make the weight. These past weight cuts to 155 have been super easy. I have not been as disciplined as I could have been. So 45 shouldn't be too hard. And yeah, I would be a pretty tough 45er. So I'm pretty confident in getting the title shot and just the title for that as well.
Well, the title will be on the line at this show. Jake Caskey taking on Fred Allen Seifer. Ruben, back to you real quick. You kind of been the submission machine. Is that your game, and we just haven't really seen too much more of the striking finishes, or are you just kind of taking what you can get to get in and get out?
I mean, honestly, the first fight I did want to strike, but my opponent was big and he was really forcing takedowns, so it was kind of put to the ground. And the second fight, it was also another wrestler, but I wanted to make a statement, out wrestle the wrestler, smash him on the floor, basically wrestle fuck him, and that's what I did. Now I'm happy to strike, I'm happy to wrestle, I'm happy to do jiu-jitsu. I don't really care. I'm just having fun in there, and the finish will come naturally. I don't force it anything. So I'll get a knockout eventually, maybe more submissions, more TKOs. It'll all come soon.
Man, I got not much left. I mean, I'm just excited. I like this new crop of. I was calling Jeff Perez's fights way back in the day, and now seeing his pupils coming through and bringing destruction with them. I love seeing the generations come through, and it doesn't surprise me the way you guys perform.
Yeah.
So
just a long
excited,
time
man.
cage fighting guy. He's been around for a long time, and I personally, for me, I started cage fighting in 2010, And it's so amazing for me, 15 years later, seeing guys who kind of started with their careers with Cage Titans. Jeff was an amateur with Cage Titans, amateur titles, then pro, and now here he is as a coach and coaching 2 young studs like yourself. Rob Pico does have a question, speaking of young studs. Are you guys 21?
We both just turned 21.
Yeah,
my birthday was August 16, and he was very recent.
Yeah, my birthday was October, so like pretty much last week I hit 21.
So they were in kindergarten when you started Cage Titans.
Holy
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, you were 6 years old when it started Cage Titans. But either way, it's a pleasure, and obviously, you guys follow in the footsteps of Jeff, super professional. And, I love the attitude you guys had. You're very stoic. I said it in the lead up to your last fights, tongue in cheek, kind of jokingly. It's like, these guys don't look like fighters. They're just, just very stoic and, but you guys come in there and you throw down. I was referencing your fight with your last opponent, Ruben. I was like, this kid's just jacked out of his mind. And, he looks like he's like, if you cast a movie for a fighter, he'd be the cast. And you'd be like maybe the manager or something, but looks are deceiving. You guys are killers, no doubt. I appreciate all the tenacity you guys bring to the cage.
For sure. You guys are both mild-mannered gentlemen, and then in there you just flip the switch, and it's been awesome to watch. And I love the fact that you guys are closing the year out strong. Love the camaraderie, and it's been great chatting with you guys, getting to know a little bit more, because you guys are just so talkative throughout the whole weekend.
Yeah, Rob Pico, we'll take the beer after the fight. Thank you.
I'm actually being challenged to a drink off by my
I'm literally sitting there so don't say something stupid, Eric. Watch your mouth.
Oh, never mind. Take that back.
No beer? Is that what Jeff's saying?
I didn't say anything, Mike. I'm supervising Eric's mouth.
I'm being monitored. I won't say any more, but if you come to the after party, it'll be very fun. It'll be very fun.
There you go. And before we let you go, JC Media, we'll go Eric first, then Ruben. His question was, do you think it will go the distance or your fight? So we'll go to Eric first. Eric versus Eder Gomes. Do you think the fight will go the distance or you'll get a KO?
I think I'll finish it rather quickly. I have no doubt in my skills that I'll be able to get my hand raised at the end of the day.
Same to you, Ruben.
Yeah, I think a finish is definitely on the cards. Whether it's KO, TKO, submission, I don't know, but we'll find out November 9, and I'm excited. So tune in.
All right, there you go. Well, shout out to Jeff Perez in the background. Thank you for bringing these 2 young studs to Cage Titans. We look forward to seeing you and your team and everybody growing with under the banner. And November 9th. Parting shots, any family, friends, anybody you want to shout out, boys?
Yeah, shout out to everybody at Back to Basics. Shout out to all my teammates. Shout out to everybody, all my friends, Hamchoy Life and all that.
Yeah, shout out Jim, shout out Back to Basics, and some shout out Ballers, shout out Millen. These are my guys. Yeah, that's all good for me.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot for my last question. And Andy knows I always say last thing, but it's 3 more last things. Give me the name of the next killer up-and-comer from Back to Basics.
It's deep. It's deep in here. Like, there's many guys who are very good prospects with, very good grappling and striking. My personal pick, there's a guy called Alice. He's going to be a 125er. He's very well-rounded, good everywhere, very good athlete, very quick. Wait for him, and he's younger than us. He's he's 18, 19, and I think his skills, striking-wise, he's definitely not behind at all. Grappling-wise, he's very good too. Wait for Alice. He'll take the 125 belt in the future.
Alice is definitely a killer in the making for sure. Everybody's has recognized that at the gym, and I can't wait for him to actually step into the cage.
All right. Well, maybe we'll see him in 2025. Thank you guys for your time tonight, and we'll see you in a few short weeks.
Perfect. Thank you for having us, guys.
All right. Thank you so much.
Can't wait, gentlemen.
All right. There you go. The boys.
There we go.
Back to basics. I love having these, guys on because, a lot of times amateurs are very skittish on calling into the show, and I say it all the time. We don't care who you are. If you're And Jeff can tell these guys and other guys who have fought for Cage Titans, whether it's your first amateur fight or you're a guy who one more fight and could be in the UFC, no matter who you are, we try to give everybody the equal playing field.
This is the platform.
It's the platform. We set the stage and what you do with it from there.
Open door.
Yeah, and then you see guys like this, Rob Pico, who's been around for a long time as a fan, like he hears about these guys and now he's a fan. And they're gaining new fans, and it's just great to be able to talk to these.
It's a great way to accumulate some beers.
Great way to accumulate some beers as well. But it sounded like Jeff Perez was in the background saying no beers for the boys.
Yeah,
but they have 21.
Skipped out. I feel like we missed
a
meaty part of the conversation there, but we'll never know. I
think they'll know who's watching. It's only us, so it's weird. So I know, we're in a basement, so we're hardwired to the internet. But I think something with StreamYard. What happens is when somebody else is on Wi-Fi, our hardwire is fighting with our guests' Wi-Fi. So then it like swaps to their Wi-Fi, and that's where you see these drops. But I could be wrong. I don't know. We haven't really figured it out.
We make it work.
We make it work.
but to call it professional,
we are hardwired. There's only so much we can do. But great talking to the boys at Back to Basics. They got some big fights. I knew Eric's going to go down to 45, but we're still going to play up the little Ron Robin tournament we got going on.
Which I kind of like. Because Eder looks like he can make 45 as well. No.
I asked about that, and they said no. 55 is his home. He's a 55.
Fair enough. No problem.
So,
that's all fine and good. I'm just saying, looks like.
Yeah,
but that's
Eric Zane is another guy. Stud wrestler from those Dexter guys, training with Billy Goff and Caskey and all those guys.
That's a couple of banger
he
fights.
Looked pretty impressive in his first Cage Titans fight.
They're both banger fights.
So it's
honestly,
just like right at 55, we got these, both of these matchups, all four of these guys are just.
And they've all fought for Cage Titans before. Yeah. So like they're going to have some familiarity from their previous performance from some faces in the crowd. And I love seeing that kind of consistency with this crop coming up, where 2024 has been a lot of familiar amateur faces who by the end of 2025, who knows, they might be the next crop of professional studs that are coming up out of the woodworks and turning into prospects by the time they're 24, 25. So they just turned 21. They're kids. Eder Gomes, I don't think is 21 either. So like,
I think he's only 18, 19.
These are kids that are doing this. I love it. I like seeing the amateur divisions really heating up with a real new generation.
But that's you're stating what we've been talking about for 15 years. Like if you've heard me say it a million times, like a broken record, it's like we're backfilling a lot. Every event, what separates Cage Titans. Eder's still 18, Nick Fontecchio just
well, just like the quote on the drop video, this has been a different level of consistency for the year 2024, where you've had like the same build up all the way leading up to the end of the year. And we've always done that.
Is like, on this card, we only have, I think, 3 debuts. You got Anthony King making his amateur debut, Jake Arruda making his amateur debut, and Connor Holt making our amateur debut. But the reason I'm bringing that up is that Nick Fontecchio said Eder's birthday is fight night, and he'll be 19 November 9th. Crazy. But either way, where I'm going with this is that the guy who's making his amateur debut on this card a year from now will be Jake Caskey, maybe fighting for an amateur title. And then, Jake Caskey, who's fighting on this card for an amateur title, next year will be, one of those people that are making, his second or third pro fight. And
Miguel Savison.
Yeah, Miguel Savison. And then you look at, that, like somebody that's on that card, Jacobo Apito or someone in that area will be next year headlining cards. It's just, it's always backfilling that a lot, always being able to keep the consistency with the product. And then realistically is like, how do we build fans? It's like the loyalty between us and our fighters. And I say this all the time as well. Like, we don't sign contracts with guys. We don't make anybody fight for us. If they don't want to fight for us, they don't. But we have kind of like an unwritten, unspoken thing where it's like every time they know our Cage Titans schedule, and if they want to fight, they stick with us. It gives us the opportunity to build their names up and build a fan base for them as well as us, obviously, but like build a fan base and then kind of have ideas of where to go next. And we're always 1 or 2 fights down the line. It's just great. I mean, I can't state it enough. You know, it's just always backfilling that lot, always building the next guy. Like the guy who's making his debut, you know, will be fighting for an amateur title. That guy amateur title will be a pro debut next year, and that guy will be main event next year. It's a great thing that we have at Cage Titans, and I think that we've proven it with guys that we've literally take from 0 and 0 amateurs all the way up to the amateur ranks, all the way through the pro ranks, all the way to the UFC. You know, guys like Peter Barrett, Manny Bermudez, you know, Joe Giannetti. There's just so many guys like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, we have the platform for all. And, you know, whether you're an 0 amateur or the guy that's going to the UFC, like we treat you all the same. We give you all the same platform.
And all the fighters from last generation or the coaches of this one, it just keeps growing. It's just fun to be a part of it all. And
it's great. And it's a testament to the coaches and teams. You know, we talk about Jeff Perez with Back to Basic. Nick Fontecchio was our 2-time amateur heavyweight champion. Though I don't have that website updated, he gave me shit the other day. But he was our 2-time amateur heavyweight champion, Nick Fontecchio. And he said, for this card, just in case, he said he'll get his pro license so he could jump in the main event if Jorgen or Josh Marsh. That's just the type of guy Fontecchio is.
Okay.
You know, I remember he wanted to fight Tyler King at one point, like when he was an amateur or something wild. Like he'll fight anybody. He's kind of crazy like that, and he's got some studs that he's bringing up. But yeah, it's amazing to see the Cage Titans community. It's not just a community with just the fans; it's also the fighters. And Jorgen De Castro did an interview, and I'm going to be long-winded, but Jorgen De Castro did a interview, and he's like, guys, Cage Titans are like a cult. They have their fans, they have their fighters, they have like all this stuff. It's wild. And it's just like, I wouldn't call us a cult, but it's just like, it's a great community. How, you know, even from the outside looking in, because this is Jorgen's first fight in 10 years from us.
Mm-hmm.
And just from him as an outside observer, he's like, guys, like Cage Titans is just something different. And it's a testament to the coaches and the relationships we build with these fighters and the fans, and just getting them invested in. And I think it's also the consistency. Like, you know, fans, like, it's kind of bad because we're on Tuesday, but like when we're doing our Monday night table Titans, it's like we're on every Monday. It's consistent. You know, we're there. And like with Cage Titans, like if you know, like your fans can get behind you because they know they're going to see you here at the next Cage Titans event. Not like, oh, where's he fighting next? It's just consistency. And just like consistency with these fighters in their training. The more consistent you are, you know, the better you get. And just like the more consistent you are with our events and things of that nature, it's easier for fans to follow the product, follow the fighters, and become, you know, there. But I think Earthquake's on, but it doesn't look like he has video. Let's see if we can help him out here. Let's see if we'll pull him in and see if they will need to connect their mic before you can add them. So Earthquake, if you can hear me, the best bet for you is probably to copy the link. And yeah, Tyler Pimentel, Jorgen's last fight at Cage Titans was 100 pounds ago. Yes, Jorgen fought at 185 10 years ago at Cage Titans. And as he said in his interview, he couldn't even sell 10 tickets. And he goes, now he has over 100 pre-registered, pre-sale tickets for himself. So he's grown in stature, going from 85 to a heavyweight. He's grown his fan base. You know, there's a lot he hasn't done. He's grown his belt collection. We had a cool meme we posted.
He's looking to add one more.
Looking to add another belt. It looks like Earthquake's trying to get that fixed, so we'll see if he's back in a minute. But yeah, man, there it is. What's up, Tyler Pimentel? I called you back today, so now tag you're it. I was it on Sunday. Now you're it today.
Happens.
Maybe I'll call you after the show if you're not in bed. But yeah, so there you go. That's it. That's my spiel. Earthquake versus Marty Navis, though.
That's a banger.
Before we bring in Earthquake, talk about a fight, man.
Well,
let's let him talk about it.
We don't have to. He's here. What's going on, Earthquake Aaron Trecell?
What's up? What's up? I remember from last time what you had said. Once you said the first 3 words about copying the link, I was like, I remember. So
All right.
Listen, man, getting that hair fixed, I like it. You had the fro, then you shaved the fro. You're going back to it. Is this the look for fight night?
For fight night, yeah, definitely.
Is this something
I was thinking about getting it.
You gonna get braided?
I was thinking about it, but then I was like, nah. But I had thought about it. It crossed my mind.
Screw the pick. You're just pulling it out with your hands.
Yeah, my pick too far away. I don't feel like standing up.
Well, anyways, man, I haven't known you for a long time. You've been fighting for us a little over a year. So is it, are you always in between the long hair, the short hair? Is there any significance on what you're doing with your hair?
Well, I used to have dreadlocks too. So I didn't have a lot of different hairstyles. I didn't been bald, shaved head completely. I just like switching it up. I feel like every time I drop a new hairstyle, I'm dropping a new personality, a new person. If that makes sense, like it's a renewal of myself.
I'm talking about hair. People are like, why are you so concerned about his hair? I'm very envious. Obviously, I can't grow any, so I'm a little envious of the hairdo.
I know, man. I can relate. I've changed my hairdo plenty of times, and people still ask when the braids are coming back. But
Andy had braids too.
Yeah, man. I remember his was nice. Made me want to get mine.
Yeah. I got a ways to go before I can bring them back, but maybe someday.
Anyways, jump into your fight. Coming up against Marty Navis, man, we're excited. When Earthquake's in Plymouth Memorial Hall, it's always exciting.
Mm-hmm.
How excited are you for this matchup and return to the Plymouth Memorial Hall?
Man, you see me cheesing like a kid on Christmas. I'm excited for this one.
It's a stylistic matchup that I kind of heard the rumblings that this fight was being made, and then once it came to fruition on paper, it's a fighter's fight. I'm such a fan of both of you guys' approach to the fight game. You guys are both down to business, no bullshit, throwing from the start until someone goes down, and you and Marty are meeting in the middle. I got nothing but respect for both of you guys, and I can't wait. He might have lost us there for a second. I saw the spin.
Well, tell us what you think about the matchup versus Marty Navis and how excited you are for it.
Okay, yeah, I did lose y'all for a second. You froze. You did the Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I noticed the spinning wheel. I was just giving you and Marty both accolades and asking how your emotions were playing out when you saw his name come across the table, and if you were excited and you wanted that name.
I was real excited. I had wanted him because I want to say I was at his last fight and he retired, and I was like, damn, I wanted to fight him. So, hey, it all comes back around. So you get what you wish for when you wish hard enough.
You say that this is a matchup that you wanted. What in particular excites you about it? Like, is it just obvious? Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So, what about it particularly excites you about him?
He comes forward and strikes. That's exciting to me.
Don't want nobody trying to take you down, hugging on those legs, right?
I mean, I already know how it's gonna go, man. Everybody turns to a grappler, so but I know he's gonna come with it, and I believe he got a little more cojones to, like, even if it's not going his way, he'll still try to tough it out.
There's zero quit in either of you, and like you anticipate and I anticipate, you guys both meet in the middle and trade. So I'm beyond delighted that this fight is happening. It's just, I've been a fight fan for my whole life, and this is one of those matchups that just cannot not be explosive. So, yeah, I definitely see it placating that way, but you really wished for this fight. So you truly dreamed Marty Navis to come out of retirement, because I didn't anticipate Marty coming back, but I knew it was a surprise. But I'm glad that this is his return fight, because I don't think it could get more entertaining than this.
Yeah.
Between you and Aaron, between you and Marty. I'm not even like coming up with questions. I'm just excited. I'm just rambling. That's how stoked I am for this matchup.
All right, Earthquake. What's training been like since your last fight? And any differences that you've changed it up at all, or you just coming in with your typical straightforward approach?
As far as my training since my last fight, I just been going out to. I'm terrible with. I don't know if y'all watch One Piece, but I'm like Zoro with directions. I don't know what nothing is. But I've been going over to Back to Basics with Jeff Perez, wherever his gym is. He know where his gym is, so he can tell y'all later where his gym. I know how to get there though, but I've been working with him a lot. He getting me back into a wrestling grind, which is more forward pressure and just coming forward. But I won't need it in this fight. I mean, who knows? Martin might make me work a bit, but I don't think I have to need it in this fight. But I just like that get me back to my roots to wrestling and just that forward momentum and that pressure. That I'm gonna have to grind on him a bit. No Diddy.
No Diddy for sure. So
we just had the Back to Basics.
Yeah, we just
next
had Back to
generation.
Basics.
The next generation of Back to Basics. The youngins on. We had Eric and Ruben on. You been getting the work in with them?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that boy Ruben. Hey, that boy can smoke a brisket. I don't know if you've seen underneath the Cage Titans post what I was saying about the brisket. Ruben can smoke a brisket. Next time you see him, ask him about it.
Okay.
Well, I'll have to message him and tell him to bring us some brisket to weigh-ins after we can all, you guys can all eat. But you met. I picked up on something. You said you back to your wrestling roots. So were you a wrestler originally?
Yeah, I started. Yeah, I was a wrestler. I started wrestling when I was 13. I started Muay Thai when I was 16.
All right, cool. Well, we won't keep you long. I don't want to keep you too long, but give me something that you think you can exploit in Marty Navis's game, and you think that you'll have the distinct advantage in.
I don't want to give nothing away, but I don't know. I feel like everybody thinks this about themselves, but I think I hit harder than he expects, and it's gonna surprise him.
All right, well there you go. So Earthquake, man, we appreciate you calling in. Any last minute shout outs to the team, sponsors, or any friends and family down in Louisiana you want to shout out before we let you run?
As always, shout out to the Ville. That's my neighborhood, 318. Shout out to Shreveport. Shout out to City Youngtown and Back to Basics. And y'all come out and see us put on the show. I don't know what we had on the. Y'all got the lineup for the card yet?
I don't think it's set in
I don't
order,
think it's set
but
in stone. I think I got you guys. I think I got. Well, I mean, it's not gonna really mean nothing, but fight 13 right now. 13 out of 17.
Man, you know what I think you should do? I'm just a fighter. I'm not no matchmaker, no promoter, no schedule designer, whatever it is. Y'all should pop it off like they did on whatever UFC that was, where they put the Chandler and the Gaethje as the first fight of the pay-per-view. I'm just saying you might want to just pop it off like that and get them jumping from the start. So
all right.
But it's.
I'm not mad at that idea. I'm not mad at that idea.
There's a lot of good fights that fit in that slot, but that might do it. I don't know.
Man, now you got my wheels turning. Like, listen, I might have to hire you after all this fight's done. I mean, that's a good call there.
And to be honest, I don't think Marty's going to be too mad at that either.
Yeah, no, Marty likes to fight early too.
So this might be.
So you might be onto something. Let me run it up the flagpole after I get off the air, and I'm going to think hard about that one because it would be an exciting one to kick off the card. But then, obviously, I like keeping asses in the seats, and I think your fight's so highly anticipated that if I keep you later in the night, people will sit there waiting for you guys. They're not going to leave early because they're going to want to see this fight, which is a testament to both you and Marty because it's a top-heavy card. But I'll tell you the honest God truth, a lot of people, as much as they're talking about the main event and co-main event, this is one of the fights that a lot of people have asked me about. They're like, "Oh, dude, that Earthquake versus Marty Navis fight's going to be insane."
It's that good.
Yeah. And he can't even talk over here. He's just rambling because he's so excited.
Hey, well, it don't matter where it's going to be. We know what day it's going to be. So on the day of November 9, y'all come watch this shit.
All right. Well, Earthquake, thank you so much for tuning in. And good luck in the training for the next few weeks. And we'll see you on November 8th at weigh-ins and then November 9th inside the cage. Either kicking off the main card or a little later.
All right.
All right, my man.
Hey, thank you so much, Earthquake Aaron Trecell.
Here we go.
Man,
that's not a bad idea.
There's already a lot in the pool to pick from for nominees.
Yep.
You can almost guarantee that fight is going to be right up there. And we got a few on this card that could slip into the last nominations over the year. And we've already had some classics. So
it's always tricky because you get these fights that are so highly anticipated. And then it's like, is it gonna live up to the hype? And because you're so excited for it, it really does. I bring up in most anticipated fights we had Giannetti versus Barrett, and everybody was like, that was one that actually lived up to the hype. But it's very tough. But I mean, you're hard pressed. Marty nor Earthquake have never been in a boring fight, so it could be Derek Lewis versus Ngannou. They just more than likely it's going to be Chandler Gaethje.
It's going to be something.
And speaking of exciting fights, earlier on tonight we had the Back to Basics guys, Eric Huynh and Ruben Bitar, and right now we got Eric Wynn's opponent, Eder Gomes, 18 years old. I think we're gonna have to ask him. He turns 19 on fight night, so let's see what's up.
Let's see what's going on. How you doing, Eder Gomes?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Yo, you trying to shoot up our viewers going shirtless on the show?
Nah, come on. Just got home from the gym.
He's not shirtless. He's got headphones on. He's coming professional.
That's true.
So, you must be a gamer because you look like you've been in this rig before with the headphones and the mic.
No, not really. I used to be a gamer when I was younger, though, but not anymore.
When he was younger, when he was younger.
When I was like 13.
All right.
He's younger. He was 13. So you're gonna be 19 on fight night or right around fight night?
No, I'll be 19 fight week.
Fight week. What's your actual birthday?
November 3rd.
November 3rd. All right. So I anticipate you're going to be wanting to celebrate on November 9th. You got a big, tough fight in front of you, Eric Huynh.
Yeah.
What do you know about your opponent? What are you looking forward to in this matchup?
I'm really happy. He's a great fighter. He's a really intelligent fighter. But I'm confident I can get the W on this one. He's gonna be a tough fight, but I'm gonna be a tough fight for him too. He might think I don't know what he thinks. He might think it's gonna be an easy fight, but I'm pretty tough. He's pretty tough himself as well, but yeah, I'm confident I can get the W on this one.
I mean, you got reason to be confident. 2-0 so far in your career. Let's kind of go back to when you were younger. What kind of got you involved in the MMA world, and what brought you into Mohawk martial arts and your other gyms?
Oh, I used to just watch UFC, and then when I was 15, I just decided I wanted to try it out. So I looked for like a gym, and there was like no gyms where I live. So I just started wrestling in high school, and then after I found Small Town, there's a boxing gym. And after a while doing just boxing, found Mohawk. And I also trained with Tarina, BJJ.
All right. Carla Tahina.
Yeah, I also trained with him for a little bit, like 4 months. But then I hated doing gi, so I dropped that shit.
I'm with you there. I'm not a gi guy.
Yeah, that shit.
I'm not. I was like, I think I might have my blue belt now, but I was like the biggest sandbagger because I was technically a white belt. I was trained 50. Pretty soon it'll be 20 years, but I used
to hate it because people just I would wrestle guys, and then they would like hold my gi, or they would grab the gi and just choke me with it, and that's not proving they're better than me, bro. That's just proving that they can grab my clothes and choke me with it.
You sound like my man Chael P. Sonnen. There you go. Anyways, Andy, what do you got for him?
Nothing. I just
that guillotine does work, Nick. Definitely does. It's all I got now.
Oh, is he complimenting your guillotine there? You definitely got a good guillotine. I've seen you mess people's voices up with it. But
anyway,
yeah, that last fight of yours, I don't think we've talked since. That was such a composed performance against Colin Silva and a dogfight where you overcame adversity and then you started really controlling distance to where I'm like, I'm watching an 18-year-old kid do this. It was seriously insane. Just
Thank you.
your control of the distance. What kind of regiment have they been putting you through with Todd Sawyer there at a small town?
We've been doing a lot of like pads, you know, pads and a lot of footwork. That was like most of what we did at Small Town. And then sparring at Mohawk with my boy Gavin, you know. And he was a great help. You know, he's really long, so I had to get used to that. That's pretty much it.
Nice. How are you balancing the multiple gyms that you're kind of training at? First off, actually, let me get this question out. You're out of high school now, or yes or no?
Oh yeah, I'm out of high school. Yeah.
All right, you're out of high school now. Okay, cool. So you no more wrestling during high school. So you're balancing between small town. You're also doing Mohawk martial arts, doing sparring. Where do you kind of like? What are all the puzzle pieces? Just kind of give me a quick.
Oh,
fill-in
usually Mondays. I train at Mohawk. I get there at like 5, and then I stay there till like 8, training over there, doing jujitsu and MMA stuff and all that. On Tuesdays, today I went to Mohawk as well. I trained from 6 to 7 jujitsu. Then 7 to 8 I went to Small Town to train boxing. On Wednesday is a hard day for me because I go to church on Wednesday. So I usually just train in the morning. You know, I either go for a run or I do some wrestling with one of my boys. He's a college wrestler, but he lives around here, so we usually like train together on the mornings, and we do that at Small Town.
Nice.
On Thursdays I go to Small Town. 6 to 7 is strength and conditioning, and 7 to 8 is just boxing fundamentals. Friday, sparring at Small Town as well. Saturday, well, usually on Saturdays I rest up because on Sundays I go to Mohawk to spar. But this Saturday I went to Lozon and sparred with the guys there. So that was pretty cool.
How was that?
It was pretty awesome. I got to spar with a bunch of pros.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. One thing, obviously, so you're balancing very nicely going between small town and Mohawk, getting some work in elsewhere. I got to say, you trained with Todd Sawyer.
Oh yeah, he was the boxing coach
Silver
at the
Fox,
Rack.
is that what he was?
Yeah, that's what he was known as.
And
But yeah, he was the boxing coach at George's place, the Rack, for a number of years. So
yeah, he's really good.
I picked up on Wednesday church, not Sunday church.
I go to church on Sundays too, but church on Sundays is it's like at 6 at night. It goes from 6 to 8, but sparring is from 1 to like 2:30. So it doesn't like get on my way, so I can still go. But Wednesdays like church and practice is like around the same time, so I can't really, you know.
So you gotta make do.
Yeah, I gotta, choose the most important one.
There we go. All right.
No chill MMA. Edgar, no shirt Gomes, give me a shout out. And Jorge Barrios said, Eder Gomes, my boy. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah, Jorge Barrios is one of my coaches.
Yeah,
One of my coaches and my the guy who does my diet plans.
All right, cool. We were talking earlier about this like little round robin thing we got going. You got you and Eric fighting in lightweight. You got Ruben Bitar fighting Eric Zane.
Yeah.
You got obviously you got a tough opponent ahead of you. You got the eye looking out the side at that other matchup going on at 55.
Yeah. Obviously Ruben, I gotta get through him first. Eric, I gotta get through him first. Tough guy. I'm confident I can beat him. It's gonna be a tough fight, but I'll get through him first, get the job done. And I've been looking at Ruben, but to be honest with you, I think Eric is like a superior fighter to him. I think Eric is the best mixed martial artist. You know what I'm saying? Ruben can probably make up for that because of his grappling. But I think of Eric as the superior mixed martial artist. And the other dude, he's pretty tough as well. I forgot his name.
Eric Zane,
Yeah,
big high
he's
school wrestler.
yeah, he's pretty tough as well. He's strong as hell. But I think I got Ruben on this fight. I think he's winning. So
All right. All right.
I like
I've
this-
been looking at him, but anything can happen in MMA fight. So
There you go.
Oh, indeed. I mean, I like the smile, the confidence that this kid has, right? You're a savage, Eder Gomes. You've proven it in 2 fights, and the composure that you have with the headphones and no shirt combo, just looking at the vision down, but staying focused with the task at hand. I'm impressed with the composure that you have at just 18 years old. Like you can't even, you have a birthday before then, and you still won't even be able to get a beer.
I wouldn't drink even if I was 21, bro. Come on, I don't do that.
All right, there we go.
I was gonna say I had a strong feeling that was gonna be your answer. But listen, Eder, man, it's been amazing to have you part of the Cage Titans this year. 2-0 so far. We got a big matchup ahead of you on November 9th. Before we let you go, any last minute shout outs or anything else you want, message to the fans that are gonna come.
I wanna say, like, all respect to my opponent. Tough dude. I just think I'm gonna win. That's all. And shout out to my boy Josue. Shout out to my BJJ coach Nick and Mohawk Martial Arts. Small town athletics. Small town to shout out to small town and to everyone that's been helping me so far. That's it.
Well, there you go, man. I don't know if you're a fan of Alex Pajea. That is so Nick said. Gomes is Chama. Chama is Gomes. So there.
Shama.
Very Shama.
All right, clip that, Nick, and you can throw up Eder Gomes saying Shama with a side by side with Pajea. Well, thank you so much for calling in tonight. It's great getting a chance to talk to you.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
All right, take it easy, Eder Gomes. We'll see you, man.
I love the
Wait,
amateurs
wait.
because like to see the
Heating up.
confidence coming on the show.
Heating up.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of good stuff going on. Not only in the obviously in the lightweight division, but just amateurs as a whole. When I look back, kind of reminisce on the past 14, 15 years of Cage Titans, is like the amateurs nowadays are they're just studs. They're so well rounded. Back. I feel so old being like back in my day, but it's not even back in my day because there was a whole era before I started. But you could be good at one thing. Like you can come in as a
Back in the day, yeah.
and it's just like nowadays it's like you hear a guy like Gomes, Eder being like, oh yeah, I wrestled in high school, I've been doing boxing, then I'm doing jiu-jitsu, and then you heard the guys before him.
Even Aaron Trecell, he was wrestling at 13, Muay Thai at 16,
It's like,
just bridging.
These guys are just doing everything, and they're coming.
Bridging the mix.
Yeah,
of
they
the
mix martial arts, and it's just funny because usually back in the early days, like I'd have we'd have amateur fighters that like come out of like predominant, like let's say Sidhutan, because in the early days they were just a striking school. Whenever I got an amateur, it's like, all right, cool, they're going to be able to strike. They're not going to be able to do much grappling or anything else. You get a guy at a South Shore, and it's like, all right, cool, he can grapple and not do much of anything else. You get a guy at a Lozon. Every school kind of had like a niche of what they were, and that was their predominant skill set, whether it was factual or not. That was kind of what every school was kind of known for. And nowadays, it's like you see these fighters, and especially amateurs, just coming out, and they're just talented everywhere.
Well-rounded.
They can strike. They can strike. They can grapple. They can wrestle. And it's just the evolution of the sports.
Oh yeah.
It's back when Bill Mahoney used to say to me when I trained under him, when I first walked into a gym, whatever many years ago, 20, whatever the hell it was, but like he was like, we train mixed martial arts as a sport. Like we don't do just Muay Thai. We train it as a sport. And it's just interesting to see the way things are going, and you see these guys, and you see the confidence in the fighters too. Like Eric Huynh, super confident. Bitar, super confident. Gomes, super confident. Like, and these guys are just starting out, and it's truly amazing to see, and it's great to see where we're going to go into the future as well. But I'm excited for those fights.
So am I, man. I haven't been around as long, but
You've been putting time in what, 7, 8 years now?
8, yeah,
8 years.
8, 9 almost. Yeah, getting there.
So you give me shit saying that they were 6 years old. When you started with Cage Titans, they were only 10 years old.
I know. I'm getting there.
I'm
aware. Don't worry. I'm aware of how a calendar operates. It's not going backwards. I'm not getting younger.
Think about that. When Eder Gomes, who's 18 now, started Cage Titans, he was 3.
Yeah. So that's
might have been in diapers.
Yeah, he's younger than your youngest son.
He's younger than he's younger than my oldest son.
He was younger than your youngest son is now when you started Cage Titans.
My youngest son's 5.
And he was 3 when you started Cage Titans. That's the math. That's time flies. That's the old saying, and it's not true here. So yeah, but I remember before I was even commentating, watching Jeff Perez reign as an amateur and then helping Chris train to fight him, who's co-main eventing here as a seasoned pro, and now Perez is coaching up and comers, and it just everything.
Fun fact: Jeff Perez fought Joe Leonard. Joe Leonard is our
head of production. Yep.
For our video streaming. And I saw No Chill MMA ask earlier, where can we watch spectationsports.com? Spectation Sports is our broadcast partner. They broadcast all of our fights. But yeah, Joe Leonard, who fought Jeff Perez, so it is funny. We were talking earlier on the show before we started having the guests, how we really kind of had, like Jorgen called it, the Cage Titans cult, but we like to say the community. How amazing how so many
cult's a strong word.
Yeah,
we're strong.
We're not a cult. I'd be a bad cult leader if I was a cult. I'm very easygoing, but
it's definitely not culty.
No, it's not culty. No Kool-Aid. But I love how he said it, because it is a community. Like, and when you look through it, it's like our ring announcer, you fought for us, like before you even came to ring announcing and commentating. Richie, who does our back room and stuff like that. He fought for Cage Titans.
He was commentating too. Well, like
Adam
Richie
Russell, who was our DJ, and then he ends up fighting. Our head of production fought. Our videography crew, Raph, fought for us.
Yeah.
We've had Lorenzo Fitzgerald take photos for us. Now he's one of our professional fighters as well. So it's really a community that, like, and it's amazing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I'll never it was on a whim too, because I fought for you once, I think, and then I spent a few years just training once a month and drinking heavily, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call. I was going to be attending, and hey, we need a commentator. You in? I was like, fuck it, sure. Just on a literal 6-hour notice, if what, and haven't missed a show since. And it's just
you mentioned the cop. One of our police details fought for us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, on a whim, you just end up commentating, and then here you are, all these years later.
And just in a blink, it's been almost a freaking decade.
Yeah,
and this is I guess 2024 is the first year where I'm really seeing the generations kind of mull over, where it's like in a blink of an eye. I haven't seen Jeff Perez fight in 5 years, and he's got a slew of killers that have been putting the work in this year, and that's just the start of this next chapter of trajectory. You always
guys who fought for me, they've trained, and now they have.
Well, you always talk about it. Like, people always forget. Like, people forget you fought. Oh, you fought? It was like back in the day. And what's that little wheel spiel that you go on?
Oh, so I always say this. I said, when I first started Cage Titans, and people, if you've heard me say this, sorry, but when I first started Cage Titans, it was, hey, that guy Mike who fought on the last card with me, he started a promotion, and I was a peer. Sorry, my accent's horrible. But I was a peer to everybody. Like, I was just one of the fighters, and I was a fighter who started a promotion, and everybody was like, oh yeah, cool. Oh yeah, that guy who fights has Cage Titans, and then went to the next phase after like the first 3 years of Cage Titans, where I was the fighter who started a promotion. Then it was, I think that guy fought. Oh yeah, he did fight. So I went to that phase. And then it went to a phase where it was not like you said. Now it's just like, wait a minute, you fought, you trained, like what? And now people don't even know that. So like you definitely go through that kind of cycle. One day it'll be Andy fought, and that's kind of
it was already that. It's been like that because there's been a lot of people didn't know that I fought. Now I'm not like a world beater by any means, but I was training with Jorge Rivera, and we would just beat the shit out of each other all the time. We'd just be savages in this. So yeah, I've got a background. I can hold my own, but I'm not that good by any means. But
it's just funny how like
it has been funny a few times showing up at a gym and people had no idea that I've trained.
It's just the cycle too. I know
not die.
The gym etiquette is don't talk about the gym stuff, but this isn't a training story. It was at a gym, and Lozon was training for a fight, and he shared with me that one of his students' moms was like, "So are you gonna fight on the next Cage Titans?" And it's just so funny. He was like,
no,
he's like, no.
Joe Lozon's not fighting.
But it's just like even like now, like people see him as Joe Lozon, like he's a coach. He trains Lozon MMA. There's a group of people that might not even remember that he was a fighter. It's just what's happens. With
only in the record books. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing how
Tommy Toehold's favorite fighter.
Andy, you fought and called the fight on the same day. You might you did do that. You might have a record. Well, it looks like I was stalling for Jake Caskey. I don't know if Nick's in the comments. If you can see if Jake's going to call in. He did tell me that he skipped out on Tuesday Night Jiu-Jitsu last week to interview with Caged In podcast, and his jiu-jitsu instructor was a little upset, so he couldn't. I'm going to call in if I can get out in time.
That being said, if he skips jiu-jitsu for Caged In, but he doesn't skip jiu-jitsu for table times, what does that say about us? What's going on?
He did tell me when we scheduled, because he was going to call in last night. Then we audibled and moved it.
Yeah, well, that's
so it's on me. So if he's not on by 9:30, we're going to wrap it up because we're rambling at this point. But I definitely like to. Yeah, there you go. Fighting and jumping in the commentary booth is savage, straight up. Well, it wasn't on the same card, so no chill.
It was a day-night doubleheader. We fought in the afternoon.
On the afternoon card.
Went and had a couple of drinks.
And then he came back and commentated.
And then I threw the suit on, and then
we did all amateurs during the day, and then we did the pro fights at night.
Yeah.
So we was done.
So I had a little bit of downtime. That was the first ever doubleheader, and it was.
What was that? What, Cage Titans 50?
Yep, Cage Titans 50 day-night doubleheader, and I remember everybody was unanimous in saying we can never do that shit again.
And then we did it again.
And then within a year, we did it again. And I can tell you that working both the day-night doubleheader as a crew member,
yeah,
I'd glove up and work just one anytime. Adam, I got my bell rung so many times in that fight against Adam too, and it was way easier than working both shows back to back. So we can never do a fucking doubleheader again. That was hell on earth.
Maybe Cage Titans 100.
No,
I would do it again.
No, we'll be too old by then.
Hold on, what are we at? 68. So next year we'll do 69. So that would be we'll do 6 shows next year. So that would be
69 to 75. Cage Titans 75 is closing out 2025. We might not have to wait till 100.
2025, 75. Ooh, that's not bad. We could do something big there.
And
then so if we do 6 shows a year to do
2025 is starting off with Cage Titans 69 and ending with 75 at the end of 2025. I feel like those are 2 big numbers right there. That's
you fucking teenage boy.
Whatever.
69. You Don Shanus. But if we do 6 shows a year times 5 years to get to Cage Titans 100. In 5 years I'll be 48. Oof. Damn.
I'll be 37.
Man. Who will be headlining Cage Titans 100? You dust off somewhere. Johnny Cupcakes might only be 45 years. He can't. Imagine if Johnny Cupcakes.
Eder Gomes.
He could be. But imagine like somebody like Johnny Cupcakes. Johnny Cupcakes, remember, he fought on Cage Titans 1. And he's in the co-main event on this card. He's still around fighting. Could he be fighting in 5 years?
At Cage Titans 100.
Might have to dust him off the shelf.
He might be the Jim Miller of Cage Titans.
I mean, that wouldn't be bad. But either way, 69 to 75 is 7 shows there, Andy. Nick Fontecchio calling you out. Your math ain't mathing. I didn't say it. He said it. So
Listen,
we're
we
kicking
might-
off 2026 with 75.
We might throw another show on there.
You know?
If we don't do a double header, then we're going to throw another one in there just to make it round off. So,
But either way, we have a huge Cage Titans amateur featherweight title fight going down on November
we stalled
9th.
just enough
We
time.
do have the handsome one, Jay Caskey, Mr. Multiple Fight of the Year winners as well. What's
Yeah,
up, brother?
handsome Jake Caskey, officially with the nickname approved by Mike Dexter. What's going on?
Gentlemen, how we doing? What I missed?
We need more lighting on this handsomeness. You know,
I know.
You guys in the dock.
Listen, you guys always run these at night in the dark. I work in the dark.
He's out in the parking lot in the worst Wi-Fi. You got worse Wi-Fi than us over there. He's frozen.
Now,
You're frozen.
we good?
All right, there we go.
Sounds a little better.
A little better.
We good now?
Yeah, I'm going to keep my questions short in case that you can't hear us with the bad Wi-Fi. But keep it short and already cut out. But tell us about your fight and what you're looking forward to in this matchup against Fred.
Howdy. I think the connection's good now. I think we're good. I always do my interviews here. So, yeah, man, this fight, I could not be more excited for it. Mike, you know, I have been begging, asking, pleading for any tough fight, anybody. I really wanted one guy because I thought it would be a fun fight. And when that didn't happen, you know, I kind of said everybody can get it. And Fred Allen stepped up, and here we are. We are 3 weeks out. I am dialed in, and I am rock hard, baby. I'm ready to fight.
Stoked for it. You made
He's rock hard, Andy.
So you called out anybody? Fred responded to the call. What are you seeing him as an opponent? Repping the New England cartel. You guys are going to be meeting in the middle in the turf in Plymouth. How did you? Anybody, now that you have that name, what do you see in Fred that poses you a challenge that you see in your favor?
Man, Fred's a fantastic opponent. I mean, I don't know too much about him. He kind of keeps a low profile, which I can respect. It's all, you know, he's going for the whole mysterious and foreboding kind of persona. I get it. That's cool. But from what I do know is that he's just a hell of a fighter. He's well-rounded. I know he's got good grappling. I know he's got good striking. I know he's got good cardio. Obviously, he comes out of a great camp, right? Tyson and those guys up there. You know, I know he's got phenomenal training partners. So really, he's like, you know, the perfect opponent. This is like the perfect amateur opponent, right? It's a tough challenge. It's going to test me. Like, I have been forced to grow throughout this camp already. So this is exactly the kind of fight that, you know, guys should be taking as amateurs.
And that's just a testament to the way Team Dexter operates, and it has always.
You guys are
been.
allergic to easy fights.
Yeah,
You always want the toughest
It's
ones.
never been an issue. It's honestly been a struggle for you guys to accept fights that aren't tough enough on some occasions. I've literally seen that. So it's and you've got Eric training with you, so I'm sure that's been assisting a lot in this training camp.
And Jared
Coming with
Sweet.
all right, there we go. So we got an entourage coming up from Groton, Connecticut.
Motorcycle gang.
I was gonna say, you know, what makes me excited about this matchup, you know, Cage Titans, I always pride myself on who's the best in the amateur ranks. It's not about who sells the most tickets and giving you a shiny belt because you sell the most tickets. It's truly about who's the best of the best. You know, this is a matchup between Connecticut and New Hampshire. You know, New Hampshire, Fred from New Hampshire, you from Connecticut, you're meeting in Plymouth. There's a long lineage of highly touted featherweights. What does it mean for you to step in there and be competing for this belt and be recognized, which, you know, biasly I look at as the belt in New England. the best in New England.
Yeah, it honestly, it means a lot to be fighting for this belt. And like you said, yeah, it's an amateur belt. It's only an amateur belt, which, you know, for some guys that might be the world, but for me, right, I'm looking towards pro. I'm looking towards the pro titles, all that stuff down the line. So this is like a stepping stone halfway across the river. You know, this is like a nice little checkpoint verification of, yep, what we're doing is working. We're on the right track. And, you know, to be able to fight for you guys and represent Cage Titans and hopefully be able to hold that Cage Titans featherweight belt, man, that means a lot. You guys are hands down the best organization. So that's a no-brainer there.
I really appreciate that. I mean, I've had the pleasure of running into you in the crowd at the past couple of events I've gone to down at Foxwoods, checking out CES. We don't got Mikey to strip that, but you were in the crowd with Austin Shaw last time out.
Yeah.
From a different perspective, that was your first time ever at a Cage Titans event not fighting, correct?
No, not correct, actually.
No, all right.
My first ever event was Billy fighting Pico, and he lost via doctor stoppage. That cut.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was like a head kick, and he got cut. That was my first ever Cage Titans.
Wow, I remember that fight, dude. That cut was nasty too.
Yeah,
oh, man.
I had just started training, and I think I sat next to one of the Laytons, like grandfathers or something, like Brett Layton, like their grandfather or something. I think he fought that night too.
Yeah.
So I remember. Go ahead.
That I was gonna say that didn't deter you from fighting, seeing that big nasty gash.
Oh God, no. I was pissed that they stopped it. I was ready to fight the doctor.
Trust me, I was in the back with Dexter, and that was a place I did not want to be.
Yeah.
I remember Dexter when back in his fighting days. I was an amateur fighting back when he was a pro, and he was a scary man back there. But he was in the back giving me the business, and I'm like, I'm not the fucking doctor, man. Like, please, sir, don't get mad at me. Like, nothing I can do. But you can see bone. That's the other thing I didn't know. You can see like bone.
It was deep. It was deep. I remember.
You know, how's the vibe with, you know, speaking of Billy, what's the vibe like? I know he's training hard. You know, I don't know if he has a fight on the books. I'm not sure, but I see that like Trevor Goody's coming down. You guys are really cranking up the intensity on training. How's that been going down there?
Man, it's awesome. It is. It's nice that we are finally developing kind of like our own full stable of fighters. You know what I mean? Like we've got for a while it was myself and Billy and Austin, and and then we had Randy Francis come over and a couple other guys, and now we've got Randy and Eric and Jared, and we've got some other young kids that we're trying to get into smokers so we can get them fighting. Like the energy in the gym is very high, and Billy making it to the UFC and getting that Contender Series shot, and for guys in the gym to watch him fight in the UFC using the techniques that we're drilling every single day for fucking hours, it really hammers home the idea of like, yeah, man, like we can do this. We are in the right spot. We are on the right path. And that is invaluable, particularly going through a fight camp. Like confidence is high, energy is high, vibes are immaculate, and we're cruising.
Nice. I love it. Cause honestly, like, going back when it was just like Austin and Billy and, Austin, Mike Dexter put Austin in some killer fights in his amateur career. And Austin always looked good, but he just was on the wrong side of a lot of decisions and things of that nature. To see the confidence, though, it really is a testament to Dexter, because Austin still came back every show. I think he was 1-10 as an amateur, something crazy like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
What was it?
He I know he was like 8 or 9 and like something. Like he had a bunch of wins, but more losses. Yeah.
Yeah. But he came back every fight. And then even when you look back at Billy's career, he got choked out twice as an amateur, but he just kept coming back, taking the toughest fights possible. you know, the confidence has always been there, and it's nice to see you guys as a gym kind of churning that corner and finally getting that recognition that you guys deserve. And you know, you're somebody that's been ushering that in, you know, Billy, and you guys are leading the charge. So congrats to you guys.
Thank you.
I don't know, man. Has anything changed for you this fight camp, or just business as usual? Just you know, nose to the grindstone and getting ready to get this belt.
Business as usual for sure. You know, obviously last fight we had a recipe that worked, so we're not going to change too many ingredients. But I'm more focused than I ever have been. I'm very singularly focused on this. I've cut out a lot of distractions. I have trimmed away all the unnecessary things in my life, and I am singularly focused on winning this belt on November 9th. And I think people who have been around me this fight camp can see that, and I think all of Plymouth Memorial Hall is going to see that when I step into that cage.
Nice. So, all of Plymouth Memorial Hall, you bringing the wrestling kids up there for this trek up to get that belt?
I am, and we're not going to be hard to identify either. We're gonna have handsome Jake Caskey shirts going around.
All right.
So you're finally getting some merch?
Finally getting some merch. They're coming in this week.
Save me one.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, we always appreciate you. You know, you're a hard-nosed fighter, man. You're hard not to love. You know, you always bring it. I'm sure there's going to be much more of that on November 9th.
And if people forgot, always going to thank you for being part of the first MMA fight back since the pandemic.
Yeah, you guys were the one. You and Dan Walsh, fight of the year that year.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I watch that fight probably like every couple weeks. Every like once a month, I'll go and I'll watch that fight just because, like, man, what a moment. Even being on the losing end, like even having that adrenaline dump and like having it, you know, end the way that it did, man, what a moment. And we
can kind of look back at it a few years now removed about its significance, but that really symbolized to me freedom. Just everything was shut down and we lost everything. Like there was no Red Sox, no nothing, no sports, and then Cage Titans come back, and it was Jake Caskey and Dan Walsh that just brought it back, and it's been a snowball effect since. But never ever between you and Dan Walsh. Anytime I see you, it's like that's always going to be
fight of the year that year. Did you win fight of the year, or you only
nominated?
I think I was nominated. I don't think I won it the next year.
The next year, because I was gonna say back to back. Was that the Locino fight? I think you were nominated.
Yeah.
Or the Antidormi, Atala. Yeah, you've had some bangers, man. All of them. It's gonna be hard to say you won't be nominated for knockout of the year this year. You had a great knockout before you called for this title fight against Ryan Kennedy.
Yeah. I'm sure he's sick of seeing it. I feel bad. If I was him, I would fucking hate to see that knockout still going around.
It's tough, man. I gotta say. It's tough because, you know, you see, you know, for me, you know, you connect with all the guys who fight for us. And it's like then you see somebody on the losing end, and then we have an obligation to the guy who did the knockout to replay his highlights.
Right.
And, you know,
right.
And it's like, hey, listen, this time you were the hammer, next show you could be the nail. And it's like, I've had one fighter that has asked me to take down videos and stop playing them. And I'm like, listen, then am I going to delete every knockout you get? It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah.
She'll text me and just be like, hey, before you post the video, will you just give me a heads up so I don't go to the Cage Titans page that day? And usually I'll give her a quick little text. Hey, I'm posting that highlight today. Don't go check our page. So, you know, we get that. But either way, November 9th, I know you just got finished training. It's been a long day for you. I want you to get home, get some beauty rest. So give me some last
back in for seconds.
What was that?
I'm going back in for seconds. I'm
going
going
back
to
in
train more. Oh, yeah.
All right,
I'm going to train more.
All right, we'll give everybody a shout out before we let you run.
I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors. I finally got some sponsors for this fight. Tomorrow's Trees LLC down here in Connecticut. Sadie's Family Tree down here in Connecticut as well. Alongside Donovan's Cove Barbershop, keeping me looking nice and handsome for every fight. And Raise the Standard Apparel. They're a motivational lifestyle apparel company. They've got some great gear. Go check out the link in my bio. And thank you to all my teammates at the club, all my coaches, all family, friends, everybody, all that, the usual. Last thing I got to say is November 9th, don't miss it. I'm bringing a show. I'm bringing the violence. You know what to expect. And God damn it, boy, I'm going to look real good while I'm doing it too.
No argument for me. There you go, man. Go back in for seconds and tell the team we appreciate you letting you take a couple minutes to come talk to us.
Love you guys. We'll see ya.
Wow, how did that happen? Wow.
That was cool. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That was tricky.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. What did you do?
I have no idea. That was crazy.
You did not do that accidentally.
I swear to God. All right.
I just saw hearts pop up, and you say
we're not gonna ruin it. Just pretend I did it intentionally.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Take it easy, handsome Jay Caskey. Yeah, literally,
that works.
Like Roger Rabbit, just like that doesn't happen. He definitely did something. He's fucking with us.
Maybe on his camera he had like a filter.
Maybe he had a filter.
An iPhone. You know, sometimes like I have a Droid, so like iPhones do.
Dude, look, I have a phone that's shattered into 19,000 pieces. I don't know how it works. I don't know what goes on.
You got to clip that, man. That was badass. Whatever handsome.
I don't know if I call it badass, but it was something. It was weird.
I mean, it was kind of cool. Like it just had hearts coming out of his hand. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty badass. What am I saying?
Like,
all heart, that kid, I guess. Yeah, all heart.
All heart.
I love
it.
it.
He's man, incredible. I can't wait to see that fight. I don't know much about Fred Allen Seifer, but
Safir's tough, man. It's good.
It's pronounce his name. I can't wait to talk to him.
Safir, I believe
he works
it is.
nights, so he couldn't call in. I don't know a ton about him, but obviously he's trained with the New England Cartel.
I've seen him fight a few times.
Multiple belts, other promotions. So this kid's gonna be coming to bang, and you know Jay Caskey brings Cage Titans fans know what Jay Caskey's all about.
Going to be one of those amateur fights. It's going to look like a seasoned pro fight. That's all it is, and that's what these amateur fights are for at the title level. To see who's ready to.
Who's the best of the best in New England? It really is.
It's really
it's not about who sells tickets. You got New Hampshire versus Connecticut meeting in Massachusetts, and you know, and Caskey's one of those guys, man. He's one of those people that he does bring a crowd, but he's not that hometown guy. That's
of course doesn't matter, man.
But the reason where I'm going with this is that Cage Titans fans have attached themselves to Caskey, though he's not a hometown guy, though he doesn't bring hundreds of people with him. Because he's coming from Connecticut, Cage Titans fans, he resonates with them because he brings it every time and the passion. And I say this to every fighter that's fighting on the card. The fans, they're fight fans, man. They're zoned in, they're dialed in, watching the fights. And you might come and get booed, but if you bring it in there, they'll be cheering you, buying you beers, hanging out with you by the end of the night.
Summed up in 4 words. Are you not entertained? Yes, Gladiator shit. That's it. And we don't got to go much further than that. We had some great interviews tonight. We got through them all. We'll be breaking down the fight card in a week or so, but only a few weeks to go. Get your tickets off your fighters before they're cutting weight. And
upper balcony's already sold out. The stage VIP is already sold out. I think we only have 1 mezzanine box left.
Have fun.
Hit up your favorite fighters. Get your tickets. Go to
Spectation Spectation Sports is the next option.
And then there you go. So get your tickets often, soon. Hit up your favorite fighter. Don't wait till the last minute.
Oh, we are going to be sold out very soon then. All right. Well.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!